Good morning, everybody. Today's Friday, the 5th of March, 2021. What would a day be without a little bit of goat drama? But just like her stupid sister, Adriana is in heat. So she just had her baby, a little over 2 weeks ago. And this is like third day in a row that all the other goats are out playing and doing their thing. And Knucklehead just sits here rubbing her coochie up against the fence. And unfortunately, about a week ago, the two boys started bunking together, and they both got their own pimp cribs. But about a week ago, they decided they wanted to be in the same pen, and they've been getting along great. You know, they play all day, and then look at this. Usually they play nice, but Bimbo there, rubbing her coochie up against the fence, has got these two guys going. I just heard them across the property that they're not physically fighting, but they're kind of going at it, just competing for her interest. And of course, she's instigating the whole thing. All right, Bimbo, I'm gonna crack a whip on your ass. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Out. Yit. See, God damn it, we're gonna play this game now? Go ring around the rosy? I don't think so. You tell your story walking, Bimbo. I don't give a shit. You be in heat some other time. Let's go. Let's go. Move it. She's pissed. Puppies. Why are we looking at these puppies? Because I just bought one. 4 weeks old, and I'll take possession in a couple weeks. It's called a Kangal. It's a Turkish flock protection or herd protection guardian dog. Huge. They get to be like 120 pounds plus. But more to follow once I get my new puppy on board in a couple weeks. Good morning, everybody. Today's Saturday, the 6th of March, 2021. Gotta love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, F you, biatch. I know it sounds like I hate these donkeys. Sometimes I tell myself I hate them. I don't. I love them. But they're real buttholes. You're a butthole, sweetheart. I love you to death, but you're a butthole. So they got into the rabbit food over there again today. And look at this. There's some backstory here. So I took on a project on this morning. Long story short, what I did was a couple things, but it all involves these rabbit tractors. So you may recall from, I think, yesterday's video that I found a chicken egg nest inside that crate there. So I said, okay, that's cool. You know, if the chickens want to nest in there, I'm cool with that. What I ended up doing was deciding to use these tractors as kind of a refuge for the smaller guys, rabbits and chickens, from these two buttholes, because they tip every time. You know, I put any infrastructure out here, they tip it over, destroy it. I went out and I think there's a waterer over here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but there was another waterer. Matter of fact, it was that one right there that I had set way over there for the rabbits. And I went and looked at it this morning. These two dipshits had tipped it over, emptied it out, and actually chewed a part of off the top. So again, long story short, these two tractors are now, they have infrastructure in them for the chickens and rabbits. In particular, I put the nest boxes back in and filled them with some flaked shavings, pine shavings. So basically, the cool part is, and this is what I'm laughing about, is I came up with a simple little solution here to that device, kind of like a prusik, and it limits these doors so they're open, 4, 5, 6 inches, something like that. So the rabbits and chickens can sneak in the bottom there, as you can see evidence of right there. But the donkeys can't get their fat heads in here. Here's another example. See that bungee cord cut in half that basically resulted in a tarp failing and blowing off the top of this? Guess who did that? Guess who chewed through that bungee cord? Correct. Donkeys. Hey, sweetie. Again, there's the chicken nest down there. Eggs. So these two tractors are back in use. Now, they've just been sitting here idle because I'm not using them as we did to raise these rabbits from newborns. Yay! You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Bon appetit, girls. Bon appetit. When I just walked out here, I think one of the donkeys had her head stuck in this the gap in the fence here, and I'm over there kind of laughing, snickering, almost praying, like, yeah, I kind of hope you get your head stuck in here and you get choked out. and you lose consciousness and you lay here and you get a nice sunburn. That's how I feel about these donkeys sometimes. Just mischievous little buttholes. They destroy things. Absolutely destroy. I mean, that's the only reason I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be clear. The only reason your fat ass is still here is for that. It's for the fertilizer, for the compost, for the manure. If it wasn't for that, you'd be gone. You've been replaced. More on that later. This is why we test things. What we got going on here? This is a project I've had in the back of my head for a while. I had a little bit of time to kill today, so I figured I'd do a little bit of prototyping. Simplistically, I just want to be able to have a way to transport water around the property so I can basically water all the animals, eventually bring fill a water reservoir for gardening, which will be way out there. So I have a bunch of these IBC totes sitting around from the aquaponics project from a year or so ago. And so what I've done here is converted this IBC tote. This is 300 gallons or 1,000 liters. And configured it with an adapter there on the bottom. It's got a hose fitting, a coupler. So, theoretically I can drive this around to all the different water stops, and there's probably say 10 different places on this property where I provide water to the different animals, out on that pasture, over there, back there, whatever. So you get the point. Testing. So I know from prior experience that I cannot lift this thing if it's full, and I seem to have recalled that when it was about half full I could lift it with the tractor, and that's exactly true. So 500 liters, clearly I can lift it up, but I'll tell you, it is so damn heavy that I've got a little bit of weight on the back of the tractor. Move. Basically just an empty boom pole. But those back wheels are just about off the ground. So if I try to actually drive around the property, I'm not gonna get a lot of traction on these back tires. So again, this is why we test. So 500 liters is probably too much. So I'll probably test it at about 300 liters, which would be down to about here. We're at now. Anyway, it works. So I was also curious to see, in terms of hydrodynamics, how much head space I would need. In other words, how high would this thing have to be lifted off the ground to have enough gravity to get a decent water flow out of the hose. And that's only about 2.5 feet off the ground. And it works quite well, actually. Plenty of pressure. Happy about that. So it's just a matter of 300 liters instead of 500 liters, but that'll get, if 300 liters of water isn't enough to keep all the animals in this property alive for a day, we got bigger problems. Anyway, so far so good. Hey Dudu, look, you get to be the first recipient of our new portable water solution. Woo-hoo. Gotta love it when a plan works. Simple, but effective. Ends up being 400 liters of water I can effectively carry. Works like a charm. Spun the back wheels over here pretty bad. Like I said, no traction on the back end, the front end's so heavy. And then there's a little bit of a pitch here. Whoop! And as I backed up and did like a 3-point turn, and you can see it's about I don't know, not even 5-degree angle of tilt or bank there. As I came around here, the left rear tire came off the ground about 6 to 8 inches. Whoa! I was like, oh shit! So I'm gonna dump half of the water out just for a safety margin, because I don't want to roll this damn thing. Even though, whatever. But what's the point? So I'll just go ahead and flood the goat pasture number 2 over here. And these girls don't have any idea what the hell. They haven't got used to the tractor yet. What's the matter, baby? Adriana, you look scared. Where's your babies at? Where are the babies? Oh, there they are. Under the old rabbit cages over there. Anyway, let's get this thing lightened up a little bit and go put it somewhere else. Is it just me, or does that make you want to pee?